Hi lovelies, welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video. So lovely, so I came across this video by For You page on TikTok and I thought to share you guys because I actually find this video super interesting where this pink colored woman is all praising the orange man for trying to make America a very beautiful cultural place to stay. And she actually gave all of her reasons and a lot of people were stitching her videos which I was able to put up some of the stitches. I'm just going to roll it. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
So, today is 6th of November 2024 and I am proud of the Americans. I was out in Boston 2 weeks ago and it was very evident to me there that Donald Trump was going to landslide in the elections. People have had enough of this woke whole world crap that's going on. They've had enough of the sunflowers, rainbows and lollipops, as I do say. They have enough of this whole agenda where they're trying to integrate all different cultures and nationalities and try and make it work. It's never going to work. They've had enough of immigration. They've had enough of freeloaders. They've had enough. And they used their democratic rights and they voted for the man who is a top businessman. Now, whether you like him or you hate him, the last time Donald Trump was the president, the economy was booming in America. Yes, he takes a stance. Yes, he gets things done. And yes, he does want to make America great again because he loves it. No more like we love Ireland. Anybody that comes into the comments saying, oh my God, you know, it's going to be a disaster for Ukraine and climate change. Look, the world goes round and round and round. We're not saying there's not climate change happening, but that's a circle. It's a circle of life. And yes, there is things that we can do about it. But when there's, 180,000 planes in the air at once, and they're blaming little countries like Ireland's cows for farting in a field, you just see how ridiculous things have got. So, to Donald Trump, well done. I'm delighted. Now, if only anyone in the Dáil could grow a set of balls and stand up for the people of this country. And to say, like me or loathe me, we need change and we need change now. So we'll see what he does over the next couple of weeks. But people thinking that they're going to go over there and get free houses and get their rents paid and get meals and, you know, that's going to stop. And it needs to stop. No one's anti-humanitarian. We're anti-bullshit. Simple as. We work hard. We want futures in this country for our kids. We want futures for our future grandkids. And if you have grandkids already, you want futures for them. When people come to Ireland, especially from America, you want to go into a country bar, which is now closing. You want to see turf on a fire. You want to hear traditional music and you want to hear our accents. The same way as when we go to a different country, we want to experience their cultures. We don't want to integrate the world into our cultures. It's never going to happen. World peace is never going to happen. There's too much greed. But what can happen is to reverse a few things that have got out of hand. Immigration. It's the number one thing on everybody's tongues. I don't care what colour of skin you have. I really don't. I care whether you work and you pay taxes. I care that I work 7 days a week and the government decide to give it away to people, to free houses, free meals, free accommodation, free healthcare. You know, that's what I care about. I care about my kids' future. I care about my business, and I care that I have worked my backbone off. And I do not agree for the Irish government to give away the taxes that I pay every week and every year, to give it away to freeloaders, to economic people coming in to pull the piss. Now, there's plenty of Irish people sitting on their bums bleeding the system as well, but there was loads of them before the country was flooded. Now, in every town and community, people are living in fear. That's not on the people in them towns and communities. That's on our government. So Donald Trump, well done. Well done. And maybe a slogan could happen here: make Ireland great again. I would love to run for presidential election because I'm very like him. I'm not as tanned or as orange, but who gives a shit? I'm cutthroat and I'm get the job done, cut the bullshit, get up off your ass and go to work, and if you can't, fair enough, prove that you can't. You know what I mean? Enough of the brown envelopes and the government getting away with absolute blue murder. So yeah, well done, Trump. Let's make Ireland great again.
How a word that was coined by Black people in America, meaning keep your eyes open to social and political issues, is now being used by bigots here and abroad. She's sick of immigrants. You're European. Those immigrants are following the shit y'all stealing from their countries. You want them to stop coming? Stop stealing their shit, because that's what they're following. The goods, the gold, the oil. He doesn't want the cultures to be mixed. Why do I have a percentage of Irish blood in my body? What's that doing there? Seems like y'all are mixing first, eh? Everything's woke because they see a Black person on TV. Everything's woke because they put somebody in a wheelchair in a TV show. She went to Boston, the Mississippi of the North, to get affirmations from other bigots that they were electing a great person. A motherfucking rapist. A man who used to walk into the Miss Teen USA pageant dressing rooms to look at young girls, and all the motherfuckers are in her comments, oh yes, good from USA, you did a good job. If you didn't want a race mix, y'all should have fucking stayed in your own motherfucking countries in the first place.
I've followed you for a while now, even voted for you, thank you. But with this take, I'm out. Look, I have my reasons for thinking, okay? And a lot of people are on the same page, and I would imagine you are too. People like me fought like mad against the referendum in this country to remove mother from the constitution and replace it with durable relationships as well. And it took a lot of work to educate people about the intimate citizenship that is written into the global policy for 2030. Now this is all tied in. The people of this country resoundingly voted against removing mother from the constitution, and inputting the words durable relationships. That did not matter. Sorry, I'm out walking. It did not matter because the SPHE programmes are still far and ahead. There's LGBTQ flags being risen in secondary schools now. Young kids can see that and say, what's that about? That's fine, each to their own. But I do not believe in teaching kids as young as 4 about different things that are written into this Matrix programme that is involved in the global change for 2030. And it doesn't matter whether we have a constitution here, they're still not following it. We had a referendum. We spoke as a nation. They're still not following it. They're still bringing in these ideas of the WEF, the WHO and the UN. And that is the fault of our TDs that are in Dáil at the moment, because they don't have traditional values like 80% of this country has. So when I see Trump going in, someone to make America great again, the last time he was in, the economy was booming. Migration of Americans had reduced significantly. Young people had more prospects to stay in America. And that's what we need here. We need someone with a huge set of cojones, We need our constitution changed, that our president is not a puppet on a string, that he actually has a power. Because at the moment, he's signing things into law, living in his big white house with his dog, completely away from what's happening on the ground. Now, yes, he's a smart man. Yes, he's a historian. He's well spoken. But he also is not good for this country. And it's about time that the president can take charge. So I do believe, and I'm saying this for a while, the constitution needs to be changed to allow the president of this country to change laws. Our president at the moment is signing them in, and I don't think he has a true understanding. Now, the hate speech bill was passed. It should have went to the people, but they know if they brought it to a referendum, it also would have been resounding no, because like me here, this is my freedom of speech. This is what I think. And when you can go away as me that works hard and find information that the TDs and the electorate were actually hiding from you, when I had given the people the opportunity, when people knocked their doors looking for a vote and you asked them about intimate citizenships, they had no idea, because this is a problem. They're running for roles that they're not educated in. So unfollow it. This is me. I'm not going against my own views for someone else's. This is why I think the way I think. You could vote to bloody identify as a tree and it's signed in. People have spoken against it. That's it. It's not happening. But our government still go ahead. The SPHE programme is a huge issue in this country. Huge. Most kids that decide to change their genders are doing it out of joining the wrong groups, mental health issues, and 70% of them regret that decision and transition back. So, you know, each to their own. I have friends that are gay. That's not a problem. But don't shove it into kids' faces. Don't flood our country with people who don't need help and are coming here for a windfall. Don't screw the taxpayer of this country over any more than what we've already been done. I have seen friends lose businesses. I have lost clients because they've lost business. I have fought black and blue against revenue to try and get people to stay afloat. And when you see Norma Foley standing there, she knows this is wrong. But it's part of the entire policy that was signed in by our MEPs that, I might add, have been non-existent. I've seen Kieran Mullally fight now on a few occasions for the farmers, etc. But in my opinion, he aligned with the wrong group. And has anybody seen Nina Carberry, Luke Ming, Annie, Maria Walsh on their socials, on what they're doing on a daily basis? Because I sure well haven't. And it's hugely disappointing, because change needs to be, it happens at grassroots, but it also has to happen at the European table. And when there's no one there to fight alongside MEPs that are actually fighting, then you have a serious problem. So that is why I support Donald Trump. If Harris got in there, or Camilla, you know what I mean? It's all part of the WEF and the UN and the WHO agenda, and if people can't wake up to that and smell the coffee, then we're in serious trouble. I know in Mayo they're still going to vote for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and Sinn Féin, and don't even mention the Greens to me. People before profit, Labour, Social Democrats, I debated against them when I was running for MEP. It's like shaking a cornflake box. They have their advisors outside the door, but ask them a real question and they can't answer it. You need people in there that have real life experience, who have worked their backsides off and know what it's like to put bread and butter on the table. So big rant over. I don't know Donald Trump personally. I don't want to get to know him, but I wish him well, and I wish America the best of luck, because they're going to slash the whip now. They're going to have a hard few times ahead of them, but the same needs to be done here. Agree with me or not? This is my page. I'm not running for anybody. My free speech.
There were so many confused European Americans wondering why I call them European American instead of just American in my other post. For example, this guy is saying, what is a European American? Americans are not from Europe. I literally had hundreds of European Americans wondering why I call them European American. So my question for you guys is, why do you call everybody else something hyphen American? African American, Mexican American, Asian American, Native American. I think it's so funny how they like to subcategorize and label everybody else, but when somebody matches their energy, they get so confused and they completely shut down. You call black people African American because their ancestors are from Africa. You call Asians Asian American because their ancestors are from Asia. You call Mexicans Mexican American because their ancestors are from Mexico. So I'm calling you European American because your ancestors are from Europe. Your ancestors are from Germany, from Poland, from France, from England. The only real Americans are Native Americans, the indigenous people. Indigenous Americans are more American than every single European American put together. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think.
Like, seriously, lovely, is the fact that immigrants are actually calling other immigrants. Like, it's just like equate to calling pot black. There are so many things I actually picked from what this Irish woman said, which didn't really sit well with me, and I was like, what is she talking about? So first of all, she talked about how, you know, a culture needs to be maintained. You know, when you go to other people's country, you actually, have to maintain their culture. You want to learn their culture. You want to, get exposed by their culture, and try to get yourself into that visitation, right? And now I keep asking myself, what culture is she trying to say? Because the way I've seen, and based on these teachings I've been putting up here, the real owners of Americans are actually the indigenous people. So is she saying that she wants the indigenous culture to be maintained? Because, like, what I've seen and the stitches and the historical thing I have, actually put up here, which we all know, is the fact that the real owners of the land, it's actually not the people that migrated from Europe. The real owners of the land are the people with the copper skin colored. I think that is what I read somewhere. And the thing is that she is just based on this culture, and I was just, what are you? Because I don't know what she is trying to. You guys need to really explain to me, because I think that she's mistaken. Because the culture she keep on talking about is the fact that they do not even have any. The said land she talking about, immigrant, are the stolen land from the people who actually migrated from Europe. And now she's all here talking about them trying not to dismantle their culture and background. It's so nice when you go to other or visit other countries, you get to experience their culture. People need to experience the culture that she is talking about. So that really do not, because if you look truly, you will know that the said land was actually taken away from the real people that actually owns it. This reminds me of a stitch I put up here, a pan-colored woman. She was on her way to maybe get a gas or something, and she saw some group of native people who is probably, on a school trip, and they were actually speaking their language. And this woman gets so upset The bank colored woman gets so upset that she has to call the authorities, telling them that there are some group of undocumented immigrants here speaking the language that she does not really understand. That language was supposed to be the cultural language of the land, right? If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm mistaken, because I am really, really open for knowledge. Like, I really want to learn because I want to understand where she's coming from. So this pan-colored woman was like, oh, there are some group of people here who probably is undocumented and they are speaking language that I do not understand. They don't speak English. Like, and I was like, that means these people are probably speaking their language, the real background and cultural language of the said land. You guys actually came and took over their land, colonized it, and tried to make everyone, to dance to your tune. Like, seriously, there is this immigration law that was actually passed. I think I posted a video before this where the orange man was talking about how he's going to dismantle citizenship by birth, which he and other people actually fell in that category. Like, this is just getting so complicated. Is it that the rules are implied to some certain people while other people just have to go with the rules? It's as if the rules are just one-sided. If it's someone that looks like me, okay, you have to follow the rules. But if not, you don't have to follow the rules. But if it's not someone that looks like me, you still have to follow the rules. It's just as if the rules are one-sided. She did not actually need to come here to talk about ownership and land and acquisition, and because this land is probably not even, the original people are not even talking. Like, they are just on their own. They are minding their business. Like, let's call a spade a spade. And she also went ahead to talk about how the economy was working during the Orange Man time. Everything was going smoothly, forgetting that Obama was a president before the Orange Man. So probably the economy and the of Obama really how it works. And now all the credit is, seriously, we really need to think through. Nobody is saying that travel or migrate to other countries illegally. Do that legal. But the fact that there has been some deportation plans for citizen by birth people, by neutralization, it's just getting too much. It's getting too much. And the fact that she even spoke about the healthcare, is it that she don't know that this healthcare or free medical whatsoever is also going to benefit people that looks like her? Let's take for instance the Affordable Care Right or the Obamacare right, that is going to be, a lot of people are benefiting from that, even people that looks like them. So they prefer to pay a huge amount of money to receive medics, even if it's so expensive. Then if you can't afford it, then so be it. I'm forgetting that it's also going to affect people that looks like you. You forget that when you're pointing one finger at someone, the four of those fingers are pointing right back at you. Anyways, if it's going to make everything okay, prices of goods and services very super cheap, and every other thing that he promised, then congratulations. After all, everything that people ever wanted is to live a good life. But the way at which things are moving is as if there are some group of people that is going to benefit more, while other people suffers. And the good thing is that these are not people that might suffer. It does not really have to do with people that looks like me alone. Every other person will have to deal with it. Like, seriously, lovelies, every other person will have to do with it. When I saw this video, I just picked some really interesting point from what she's saying, which I don't think is aligned. And the thing is that we just hope for the best and stop giving credit to someone that does not really deserve it. You know, let's just see what happens. Let's keep praying for the best, and if it works out and turns out very great, then congratulations. Then that is exactly what everybody wants. But the fact that it has not even started, if not even be in the office, people are just, things are already getting high. People are complaints here and there. It's as if, oh, we are going back to square one, back to, Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So please, if you have not subscribed to this channel up to this extent, do your girl a huge favor to click on this subscription button, and I will see you lovelies when I upload
Watch
the
up to
next
this
one.
extent. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, so please share, subscribe, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.